And that was your update on the currency market as we continue to monitor the performance of the cedi. This afternoon, we want to begin with a conversation on the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. Yesterday saw the launch of a national AfCFTA policy framework and action plan, which is geared towards harmonization of relevant policies, programs, laws, and regulations to boost the productive capacities of the private sector so Ghana harnesses the full benefits of the Trade Pact. Meantime, the Business and Financial Times reports today that no trade activity has taken place 18 months since the official launch of the Africa Continental Free Trade Agreement. It quoted the AfCFTA Secretariat as saying trade is yet to take off, citing many complexities in member states. First, though, this report from the launch of a national action plan. The policy framework will serve as a guide for Ghana's implementation of the Continental Free Trade Agreement. Ghana has already taken the lead in exporting some products to other neighboring countries under the agreement since it kick-started in 2020. Speaking at the launch of the policy document and action plan for boosting Ghana's trade with Africa, Minister of Trade and Industry, Alan Kyerematen, called on local authorities to support efforts in empowering the private sector.
National AfCFTA policy framework and action plan, which we are about to launch today, is based on inputs from a broad range of stakeholders from both the public and the private sectors. It is my wish, therefore, that the ministries, departments, and agencies, as well as metropolitan, municipal, and district assemblies, together with such institutions such as banks, insurance companies, transport and logistics companies, would all work together to empower the private sector in Ghana to harness the full benefits of the AfCFTA.
Speaking on behalf of President Akufo-Addo, Minister of Information Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah assured the balance of payment and economic challenges experienced by African countries due to external factors can be resolved when the agreement becomes successful.
African countries cannot overcome the current economic challenges occasioned by the incidents of the COVID-19 pandemic and the Russia-Ukraine war if we do not develop measures to improve the productive capacities of the private sector and increase intra-African trade. The effective operationalization of the AfCFTA agreement in Ghana would significantly boost Ghana's balance of trade, stimulate investment and innovation, diversify exports, improve food security, foster structural transformation, enhance economic growth, and above all, provide jobs for the Ghanaian youth.
So far, about 46 countries have ratified the agreement, paving way for trading. Isaac Hubert Arthur is Executive Director of the Africa Center for International Trade and Development. He joins us on Zoom to discuss this. You've read through the action plan, Isaac. Anything striking in there?
Yes, thank you very much, Daryl, and good afternoon to your listeners and viewers. Yes, I've gone through the framework, but, you know, I'm happy that at least some of these things are put out there, you know, but I've said it several times that developing frameworks and action plans, for me, should not really be the news. The news should be that this number of companies in Ghana have actually started trading under the AfCFTA. For me, that would be the news. You know, it's good to have a plan, it's good to have a framework. But at the end of the day, if the frameworks and the plans are not being put into action, where is the benefit? You know, what private sector is looking for is a hand-holding process for them to know the practical steps that they need to go through to be able to start trading. It is so beautiful to come up with these things. And for me, we should move beyond the ceremonial, mode and then get into actual implementation. Let the discussions, let the conversations, let the dialogues center around the practical processes for companies to follow in order to be able to trade under the AfCFTA. Otherwise, We will always be dialoguing, we will always be launching stuff and
Okay, I think Isaac,
it's about 18 months now. It's about 18 months now since we actually, started, we launched the AfCFTA trading since last year in January. So if we cannot boast of successful, then for me, I think we shouldn't really be highlighting much on developing plans and frameworks.
well,
What we should be happy about is that these companies have started trading in Ghana, or this number of countries have actually started trading.
all right. I just want us to move on to the point you made about the fact that 18 months since AfCFTA was launched, we've got no trading activity taking place. I actually thought a couple of Ghanaian companies had traded with their counterparts, but this new reporting from AfCFTA indicates that no such trading has taken place. It should be worrying and also showing that there is a lack of progress, or the progress is actually very slow. And what can we do about it? What are the complexities in there?
Daryl, I mean, you see, even before the AfCFTA came into being, companies were already trading, just that they were not benefiting from the duty-free, quota-free. They were not benefiting from the incentives that the AfCFTA provides. So as for trading, a lot of companies in Ghana were already trading before the AfCFTA came into being. Okay, but the question we should ask is, for me, is the private sector ready? Politically, as a country, we may be ready, but practically, is the private sector ready? Are the businesses ready? Do they have the necessary tools? Do they have the necessary knowledge? What it takes to be able to trade across the border within, the continent under the AfCFTA? A lot has to be done.
I guess that's the reason they put out this action plan, because if you read, it's supposed to boost the capacities of the private sector so that they are able to trade competitively under AfCFTA. I guess the problem right now is, at least I am thinking that Ghana is putting in effort. We don't know what is happening with the other member countries, and for which reason we have seen this stall a bit.
No, I mean, that is fine. As a host of the Secretariat, that is what is expected of us, to show leadership. And that is what we are doing. Showing leadership in terms of, coming out with the deliverables. So if we've come out with an action plan and a framework, that is good. Other countries can emulate that and then also develop theirs. But for me, what I'm saying is that, see, we've been talking about this whole thing. I mean, the content of the action plan or the content of the framework, I mean, there's no news. These things are in our documents already. These things have always been there. If you go through the objectives, how many? About 7 objectives in the framework. These objectives have always been there. To have trade facilitation, trade infrastructure, trade information, enhancing productive capacity, trade and development finance. These things have already been there. They are there.
All right.
So the point is that we need to get practical.
Okay.
When you talk to the businesses, they have their own issues. They have their own challenges. Some don't even know how to practically, where to go for information regarding, trading.
We just have 1 minute more. I just want to ask you about the pilot that we understand is set to take place very soon among 7 member countries. They are going to test the AfCFTA, and hopefully that would advise on future plans. Ghana, Cameroon, Egypt, Mauritius, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda are supposed to participate. That is on a brighter note. Your thoughts, finally?
Brilliant idea. For me, that's the way to go. To kickstart the trading is to pilot it. We need to test the system, test the infrastructure to see if it will work and what will be the challenges, so that we can start addressing the challenges as we trade, before we begin to open up to the rest of the continent, for the countries that will be ready. So for me, I think this is a fantastic idea, and I totally support it. And I will urge all the countries to prepare their private sector and make them ready and let them begin trading, so that the world will know that it has not just been talk all this while, but we mean business. Africa is indeed ready for business, and we are ready to trade. That is the only way we can, have confidence reposed in our system, in our government. Otherwise, people might think that these guys are just talking too much and nothing is being done.
Okay.
So to make a point that we are really serious about this AfCFTA and we are indeed ready to integrate our markets, let's have the pilots and then see what will come out of it. Once countries begin to see the benefits from trading with these selected 7 countries, it will encourage other countries, to quicken the steps, the processes, to be able to also join the trading and then benefit from the incentives that AfCFTA provides for the people of Africa.
Isaac Hubert Arthur, great to speak with you this afternoon, Executive Director of ASENTAD. Appreciate your thoughts